is what was happening before, bro. And I
Office of Alumni Services. Bitch, get on my email.
all right, let's
Bro,
check.
Black Youngster is so funny, bro.
Oh, indeed.
Black Youngster is so funny. Whore. Oh shit, we're live. I didn't even realize. Oh, I'm looking. I'm looking. Dang it.
Check, check, check.
Yo, what the hell?
Check, check, check.
Yo, who is that?
What?
The creativity of trapping NBA player. Oh, I gotta watch that later.
Check, check.
Where
Check, check. All right.
is?
It actually doesn't look terrible. It's a little bit delayed, but.
Yeah, I'm looking. Hold on one second. For I don't know why it didn't just pop up, but
18.
what the hell? Oh, there it is.
You ready?
Yeah, it looks good.
It's decent.
Yeah, it looks good on my end.
Oh, it looks good on. It looks good for you, but for some reason my shit is a little bit delayed. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm?
yeah. It looks. I mean, I'm looking at the slide right now.
Is it
Wait,
durable?
yeah.
All right. Let's start it then.
All right.
Salute to the family. Salute to the YouTube family. We're here at Get Metal Night Sports, the Red Corner Podcast. Me and my dude, co-host Micah. We're here to talk boxing. We're here to talk MMA. We definitely have a couple things to be speaking about specifically today because there are some things that took place or that are going to be taking place this weekend. Now, this is a highly, highly, highly anticipated fight that we've been waiting for at least 3 years. That was due to Ryan Garcia's capping and weird behavior, claiming that he was going to fight Manny Pacquiao, which did not take place. Manny Pacquiao actually um, threatened to take legal action due
Yeah,
to Ryan Garcia stating that he would be fighting him in
that
a
is
fight.
defamation.
So, yeah, he said he was going to be doing that. Now, if I am correct, I remember um, what's his name? Manny Pacquiao used to have the WBO championship. He won that from and then he proceeded to actually have he won the WBC championship, right? Now, once, damn this fuck. Once he won that championship, he didn't fight. He was inactive for a couple, for since the fight, and I think that fight happened in 2018, 20 maybe 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as Ryan Garcia was stating that he was going to fight um, Manny Pacquiao, right? Um, very shortly after that, he was stripped of the belt because I don't know exactly if that was the reason. I do know he was inactive, right? But I do know the rumor was that it was going to be an exhibition match between Manny Pacquiao um, and Ryan Garcia, and a lot of people were believing that. And I remember right after that he was stripped of the belt, and I think it was because, of course, it was because he was inactive, but I think also it was because of that rumor, the fact that they thought he was actually going to do an exhibition and not defend the belt in the division. So I say that to say is Manny Pacquiao lost his belt in in Ryan Garcia may have made Manny Pacquiao lose that belt. Maybe not for sure because he was inactive, but I think a little bit. Okay, so we got Zax fighting 007. Tank might have hands of stone, but best believe Garcia's bones cannot cannot be broke. All right,
Dog.
Garcia might have the lightning of Garcia might have the lightning of speed, but Tank has got slow motion to see. Let's see the outcome of 22nd on Saturday. Yeah, Zach's fight 007. Um, Ryan is fast, man. That where no one is saying he's not fast. He's fast. He's
Yeah,
powerful. But he's not a complete fighter. He's not a complete
yeah.
fighter. He has flaws. Everyone has flaws, but he has major flaws.
Man, I just saw the
Yeah,
craziest
go ahead.
video before I saw. I mean, I even showed you.
Explain it.
He just bet. He just bet his whole
Yes, bet his
purse
whole purse.
on the
Mhm.
fight. It's a fucking spider.
I did see that.
But yeah, no, he just bet his whole purse on the fight. So what do you think? That's just so crazy to me, man. Why doesn't he just stop talking? Why doesn't he? Why doesn't he just?
Notice,
Why doesn't he just?
notice that, right?
Why doesn't he just like
Disappear
disappear for a little bit?
and just focus on the craft, right? Instead of just talking and saying he's gonna do this and that. Which look, be confident, right? That's we're not saying don't be confident, but we're saying why is the main thing we're seeing from you is talk. You know, why is the
Mm-hmm.
main from Tank? You know, he rarely ever says that he's gonna knock someone out. He usually says he's only, what he promises that he's gonna show up. That's what he always promises. He never promises a knockout. You know, most of the
Mm-hmm.
time he just says he's going to show up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it with Ryan, bro. He's just
He's so
he
cool, man. He's so cool. He's like, oh, we'll see
yeah,
what happens. We'll see
yeah.
what happens.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's I think, bro, it's super it's like this new generation, man, where everyone has to try to show out, show off and, try to convince the world that of something when you can just show us as far as your actions.
Yeah, you. I mean, you're already a professional
Right.
boxer, dude. You don't have to. You don't have to like. I think that's what Tank knows. Like he knows, like he's very good. He's like, I don't have to. I don't have to like prove
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
I don't have to prove
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. I mean, look, Ryan Garcia got big off of Instagram. He's still we can't take anything away from his fighting skills, right? But Tank got big in boxing, not outside of boxing like Ryan Garcia, but Tank got big inside of
Mhm.
boxing by fighting. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get big by
Mhm.
talking and shenanigans and you know what I'm saying and being the bad guy. He never. That's not how he did it. He did it by just his pure skills. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that speaks volumes to me. That speaks volumes to me, man. Um, but either way, Tank has to be careful for that left hand, that left hook. He has to be careful of the left hook. Um,
Yeah, and he was
yeah,
Tank
exactly.
said
He
that.
knows it.
He
He
was
knows it.
like,
He knows it. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. He knows what he has to look out for. And it's funny because he predicted the same thing. He said he doesn't go past 8. He said if it go, I can't remember what his exact words were, but he said it doesn't go past 8, which is what I said before in the last stream. I said it does not go past 8. Um, but it will look like a good fight for sure. It will look like a good fight. Um, you know, uh, uh, shots will be exchanged. You know what I'm saying? Shots will be exchanged, and it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a fun night. But I think
hmm
Ryan Garcia is gonna be leaving in a stretcher. That's what I think.
yeah. So I mean, what do you think is the are the chances that Ryan, almost plays like chess and he like predicts that he's just gonna predict the left hand?
You mean predict who? Wait, you mean say that again?
Yeah. So like, what if Ryan almost plays like chess
Mhm.
and he knows that he's expecting or sorry, that he knows that he's expecting the left
Oh, okay.
and he
Oh,
just
okay.
switches up.
That's probably what he's going to try to do. But the thing is, I think, is that once once Tank starts to walk forward a little bit more and
Yeah.
press him,
It's gonna
he's
fall
gonna
back
fall
on it.
back on what he knows what to do, and he's gonna rely back on that left hook again. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen it before where Tank will be, on the back foot, which he can fight both ways. But then once he starts pressing dudes, once he starts getting in their face, once he starts making them walk backwards, it looks like a completely different fight. You know what I mean? That's usually what
hmm
happens when Tank fights bigger dudes. You know what I'm saying? He'll let you win rounds. he'll let you tag him. He probably won't let Ryan tag him as easily, just because obviously he does have a lot of power. He might have like a feeler shot just so that he knows what he's going against. Um, you know what I'm saying?
If you were to ever drop Tank, dude.
We No, he would not hear the end of it. He would not hear the end of it.
I,
You know what I'm saying? Which,
I,
look, both of them can thump. This is. Don't get me wrong, right? This is both their hardest fight. This is
oh
both
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
best that they fought.
You think that he's the hardest opponent, that Ryan's the hardest opponent for Tank that Tank's ever
Um,
fought.
I think he's probably has the most potential out of everyone he's fought so far. He has the most potential. He's not the most accomplished, not by not by a long shot. He's not the top contender, right? But he has the most
Mm-hmm.
potential out of all the people he has fought. I think so. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Ryan is just a bad boxer. He's just not a complete boxer, and he has certain flaws. And if you go against it, I just think Tank is just levels above him, and I think he bit off a little bit more than he can actually chew this go round. But
Mm.
it,
So what you mean is like in terms of his in terms of his athletic gifts,
yes,
like his speed,
yes,
his
yes,
power.
yes. Yeah.
If he can put the
If he
skill
can
with
put the
it.
skill with it, he'd be a beast. Ryan Garcia would be a beast. He just has to be able to willing to be take. He has to be willing to take instruction, take advice, take training. You know what I'm saying? And stop the talking.
Mhm.
That the talking is getting in his way. It's getting. It's not gonna do you well. Daniel says he wonders if there's a rematch clause. Probably on Tank's side, probably not on Ryan's side. It's the A side. I probably think they probably put a rematch clause in for Tank just because he's the A side. You know what I'm saying? That's my guess. But I think I think Ryan Garcia has not faced anyone even close to Tank. I mean, no one even close. If Mario Barrios had power and was a little bit speedier, I think Mario Barrios could beat Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Um, but
Mhm.
obviously Mario Barrios is a completely different fighter, and he has decent boxing skills, but he doesn't nearly have as much power or as fast as Ryan Garcia. But yeah, as far as athletic ability, I would say that yeah, Ryan Garcia is probably the best dude he has fought as far as Tank goes. You know what I'm saying? Because again, Tank for some reason has not fought the upper echelon. For some reason he has just not fought.
Do you think that? But don't you think that that's really Floyd like trying to build him up the
That's
correct way, like almost like what the UFC did with O'Malley?
that's precisely exactly right. But it's going to get to a point where okay, now we want to see you against Haney. We want to see you against Shakur. We want to see you against what I'm saying top Tiafimo. What I'm saying we want to see you against these people. Because he's done the building up. He has already got the fan base. But you know what? This fight is one of the fights because, essentially, and I don't think so, but maybe 3 years ago, Ryan Garcia was a part of the Big Four. It was Ryan Garcia, Tank, Devin, and Tio. Tio's been beaten already. He's still a good fight for either one of them. I think he beats Ryan, but he's still a good fight for either one of them.
Yeah,
And yeah,
Lomachenko,
yeah.
right?
And now him
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Tank are fighting, which is you know out of the four, that's the only fight that's been made. You know what I'm saying?
No, he didn't lose to Lomachenko. He lost to
He
Cambosis.
lost
My
to
bad.
Cambosis. He lost to Cambosis. He got brutally yeah, he lost very convincingly to Cambosis. And then
Mm-hmm.
Cambosis got destroyed by Devin Haney twice. You know what I'm
Twice.
saying? So we need to make these fights between the four of them dudes. Now Tiafimo is already out of the 135 division. So we need to get these fights. We simply need to get these fights. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Mm-hmm.
this is a step towards that goal because again, at the end of the day, the big four, two of them are fighting now, right? So, I like the
Yep.
fight. I'm glad it's happening. Um,
So how do you see that fight going if Devin Haney and Tank fought?
a lot of people. Okay, I personally have Devin Haney winning. And I'll tell you why. Devin Haney. is not someone you can give rounds to. Is not someone you can just let someone can let them build momentum and
Yeah, he'd have to
you
start
gotta if you're
immediately.
gonna beat Devin Haney, one you're gonna have to knock him out, right? Or I mean, you can outbox him, but
Mm,
you have to be the only dudes that can outbox him, in my opinion, is gonna be Shakur. I don't think Tank is gonna outbox him. Not that he can't, but I think Tank is not used to having have to outbox someone. You know what I'm saying? I think he's just gonna be looking for the kill the whole time, and I think he's not gonna find it with Devin Haney. Um,
mm.
I think Devin Haney beats him in a 12 round decision. That's what I think. But it can go. It's a 50-50 fight though. It could go either way. Devin Haney could get knocked out by Tank for sure. It's a 50-50 fight in my opinion.
Yeah, so and really in MMA, the fighters that you would compare them to, or that you would compare him to, Tank, you would compare him to like Cheeto Vera, or you would compare him to Piotr Jan. You compare him to like slow starters.
Slow starters, indeed.
Yeah, really been there, and it's been their downfall. It was Piotr Jan that was his downfall against
Right.
O'Malley, and that was Cheeto's downfall against Sandhagen. That we just maybe that was a couple weeks ago that we watched that. But that yeah, man. But these it's it's a trade off, right? Like we say all the time, like our there's no solutions, there's only
Yep.
trade offs.
Yep.
So I mean, those that slow starting style, if you can weather the storm, it's like you can just download so much
Right.
data. But at the same time, if you have a guy who has more
Mhm.
looks, if you can now you have to overload. If they can overload your computer, then it's like then you're screwed because you've already given up so many rounds and you
Exactly.
actually can't figure
Yeah.
them out. You actually can't
Right.
figure them out
And
like
then
that.
now you're playing catch up. You know what I'm saying? You're playing catch up. By the
Hmm.
time you feel like you can get them, it's the 12th round. It's the fifth round.
Yeah. So here's the question I have: do you think that Tank has the that he has the potential to even do that? That he has the looks for Devin to even get to even like what are the chances that he would win that decision?
It depends on how Tank fights. Okay, it depends on how Tank fights. If Tank goes in there and says, okay, if I see the knockout shot, I'm gonna take it, but I'm not looking for it. I think it's gonna be a much closer fight because Tank can box. Tank can box. Tank can box. He is right up there with Devin. It's just when he's in that knockout mode, he lets rounds go, and it's like, okay, if you do that with Devin Haney, by the time you get to the 10th round and he's won majority of the rounds, you're not gonna find that knockout shot. I mean, you might, but are you willing to leave it at that last round? Are you willing to do that against someone that knows the main thing for them is to not get knocked out and to tag you every single time you try to tag him type of thing, like and also Devin Haney's the master of the clinch. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna pop, 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 get in, get up from under you. You can't touch him, push you back, pop, pop, pop again, pull you in. He's the master of the clinch. You know what I'm saying? He knows what he's doing. He knows how to not get knocked out. He's been hurt before, and he weathered the storm. You know what I'm saying? Um, Daniel says no one beats Dev, but if it's anyone, it's Tank due to that eraser. But I got Dev. I agree, Daniel. I fully agree. I fully agree, and that's why I said Tank does have the eraser, man. Tank, what we call the eraser, and
The
Micah, do you
great
want to explain that
eraser.
for the new viewers?
I mean, that just erases all the work that you just did.
All the work,
All the work that you just did, it makes it not
you
matter.
know.
All
You pretty
the
much essentially erased all the progress you did. It could be the last second of the last round, and boom. And essentially, you didn't do anything. No one remembers what you did. They just remember you. You remember you on the
Nope,
ground.
nope. That's Paulo Costa's nickname in the UFC, the
Oh yeah.
eraser.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Even though he
yeah.
got he,
But
he got
he got
erased.
yeah
he
by
got
is he yeah
he
exactly.
got erased though. The eraser that got erased. Tank has it. Wilder has it. Alex Pereira has it. You know, these are who you call erasers. But I
Yeah,
agree
that's
with what Daniel
crazy.
said. I don't think anyone beats Devin right now. Like I don't have anyone above him. But the guys that could possibly do it, Shakur would have a good chance, but I still have Devin. and Tank would have a good chance, but I still have Devin on top. You know what I'm saying? They're 50-50
Mm-hmm.
fights, both of them, but I have a slight edge to Devin Haney just because of the boxing skill, the slickness, the speed, the IQ. You know what I'm saying? He's very slick. He's very slick. You know what I'm saying? He gets right up under you, pushes you out. He's a match of the clinch, man. You gotta watch it, man. I mean, not you specifically, but people in the chat, man. You gotta watch him. He's a match of the clinch, and he can take pressure, bro. He can take pressure. He deals with pressure better than Shakur. He deals with pressure better than Shakur, in my personal opinion. If you watch back that Oscar Valdez fight with Shakur Stevenson, bro, he did not like the pressure. Like the video. Hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? You see the bottom. We're starting over again. Um, but again, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's good, man. So and when we have him in Loma. We have him in Loma. That's coming May 22nd, I believe. Daniel says,
Oh, what?
yeah,
Devin and
Devin and
Loma?
Loma. Devin and Loma's coming, bro. Devin
Dang,
and Loma's.
May
Yep.
22nd. That's the fight that I've been waiting
Indeed.
for,
I
man.
remember you said that a while ago.
That's the fight that I've been because I mean, maybe it's just because me being outside, but I considered Lomachenko the best counterpuncher, one of the best, the one of our, if not one of the best. I've considered him the best counterpuncher. I mean, obviously before I knew about Devin, but I considered him the best counterpuncher in boxing.
Yeah.
So I've been
Yeah.
so I've told you so many times like that's the fight that
Yeah.
needs to
No, no,
oh my
yeah.
that makes me excited, dude. I didn't even
Yep.
know about
Yep.
that, Mark.
Yep. No, we're going to talk about that
God.
a little bit more. Daniel says if I'm Dev, the way I'd prepare would be to spar middleweights. Remember, Dev ain't fighting Tank at 135. He definitely ain't going doing the hydration class. Cause it'll be at 140. Give Dev way more of an advantage, especially when trying to keep Tank off the jab. Indeed, yeah, they're not fighting at 135. No way, no how. They're definitely gonna be fighting at 140. If not, yeah, if this fight happens within the next 3, 4 years, it's definitely gonna be at 140. Um, I think Devin probably ends his career at 147, maybe 154. I mean, he's still young. He's our age. You know what I'm saying? But I think he probably ends his career at 147. But yeah, 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 Micah, bro. Like that fight is But again, that fight should have happened 4 years ago. Devin Haney was his mandatory, and Lomachenko petitioned the WBC to become a franchise champion, which essentially means that he can duck his mandatory. And in doing that, Lomachenko had to give him his championship, which elevated Devin Haney to the super champion, which means he was the WBC super champion. So this fight should have happened years ago, and this
Hmm.
Lomachenko should have took the fight 4 years ago because I mean I personally think Devin would have won regardless, but he would have had a better chance at fighting someone younger, less experienced. But now he's got to fight the undisputed champion, who's defended the undisputed. He's had multiple title defenses. He's defended the undisputed championship once now. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going against
Hmm.
a pure dog. You know what I'm saying? A pure dog now. He tried to wait him out. This was his demise, man. This was his demise, and he's gonna figure out. But I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think Lomachenko's gonna bring his A game. I think it's gonna be a very competitive fight. But I think Devin Haney's gonna pull ahead, and I think he's gonna get that W, man. I think he's gonna get that W. Um,
Yeah. There's one more thing I wanted to ask
mhm.
you about. One more fight. So what happened with the talks between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev?
Micah, I wish I could tell you, but it simply doesn't make any sense. Those guys should have fought a very long time ago.
Hmm.
Um,
Beterbiev, oh my
Better
goodness,
BF, man.
dude. That guy is an
Yeah, I
assassin,
think
dude. That
his power is,
crazy.
it's scary. It's scary.
Bro, I've seen him. I can't remember who it was that he fought, but I saw him. Who was that first round knockout that he had? It was either the first round or the second round, but
Was it a
knocked
white
him
dude?
out quick. Yeah, yeah.
It might have been Joe Smith. Joe Smith.
Maybe.
Um, and that fight was, yeah, and I think that was a first round knockout. And Joe Smith is not a bad fighter too, bro. But Joe Smith fought that fight like an idiot. He thought he was gonna be able to bang with him, and no, he was not able to take that power. Daniel says they didn't offer enough money. Came out this week. They want to build it more for more money. They said Bivol might fight. Bro, I don't believe that, man. I'm not saying either of them are ducking each other because I don't really think that. But what, like, enough money, bro? Bivol just fought Canelo, like just now. He didn't even become just a champion. You know what I'm saying? Like watch now that he fought Canelo, they're gonna start asking for a lot more money. But they fought. They should have Bivol and Better BF should have fought way before Canelo fought Bivol. You know what I'm saying? But now that he fought Canelo, watch, they're gonna be starting for asking a lot of money now, because they got that taste of that star power, and now they're not gonna be. Oh, they're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think is gonna happen. But bro, I think Better BF might take it, bro, because Anthony Yard was doing really well against um Better BF. He was looked like he was able to take the power, but
My
he
God.
got dropped, and that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Has has Bivol
Bivol
lost?
has not lost. No, I don't.
All right, yeah,
Yeah,
neither is he. He's 19-0 with 19
yeah,
KOs, dude. He has a 100%. So it's like the light heavyweight
pretty
Wilder.
much,
Like
pretty much.
he's
He's knocked
knocked
out
out
everybody's
everybody
face.
he's
Yeah,
fought.
yeah, like literally. You know what I'm saying? Literally, bro. It's bro. It's you know what I mean. You see him hitting, and it's like, bro, the way that these guys are reacting, is just scary. It's scary.
Yeah, they don't
No,
expect it.
no.
It's like when girls fight Amanda Nunes and they're like, "Oh my God, this girl hit!" Like you just see their
And
eyes.
she really hit. She really
Yeah,
hit.
like damn.
Daniel says, imagine Canelo beat Better BF. Hell no. I was,
Bro, that's what I would what I'm kind of curious about is how do you think that Canelo handles
bro,
that
I think
power?
Canelo gets knocked out. I mean, this would be the first time we've seen Canelo get knocked out cold.
That's really the fight that he should be going for instead of Bivol, right?
I mean, he'd have a better chance at outboxing Bevel, or sorry, Better BF. I don't think Better BF is as much as a boxer than Bivol, but
Mm. Yeah, but he can't fight him like he fought like Triple G.
not even close. No, no. And Better BF, yeah, Better BF is kind of slow on his feet too. His kryptonite is boxers. But also Canelo is slow on his feet too. So I don't know, man. I think Canelo would. I mean, this would be the first time we've seen. Uh, uh, this would be the first time Canelo would have been knocked out cold. But Mike Daniel says no, Mike. It should Benavidez. He said he should be
Oh,
the fight. He said the
I
fight
mean,
he should be trying to get would be Benavidez, which is true, which is true. But
yeah.
I think he beats Benavidez.
I mean at
Oh,
yeah,
at
I
light
mean at light
heavyweight. Yeah,
heavyweight.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean a light heavyweight fight.
Yeah, I think Benavidez. Sorry, I think Benavidez loses to Canelo, bro. I think Benavidez is good. I think he's great actually. Um, I think his conditioning is great, but I think Canelo beats him because
Hmm.
while he's decently fast on his feet, it's not that educated, in my personal opinion. His feet aren't that educated. They're fairly fast. They're able. I mean, he's able to keep up, but I think Canelo's footwork is more
Dang.
educated. And I think Canelo will be able to break Benavidez down.
So would you say it's like basically the opposite problem that Canelo has? Like his upper body is faster than his
Uh,
lower body, but Benavidez's feet are like too fast for his
not that
hands,
it's too fast, but it's just like just not.
or like he doesn't keep
He
up.
can keep up, but I think it's just not. He's not as educated as his feet. So pretty much Canelo has educated feet, but they're just not fast. I
Hmm.
think Benavidez has faster feet, but just not as educated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So he doesn't know
Yeah.
what to do. He can move around, but
Yeah,
doesn't know what to
that's
do
what
with
I
it.
think personally. That's what I think. I
Okay.
think he's just one of those guys that he has fast feet, but they're not moving the best way possible. Um,
Mm.
and I think he loses to Canelo, bro. But I still want to see the fight. That fight is great. That fight should definitely take place. No question about it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, no, no. I wanted to talk to you about UFC
Indeed,
288.
indeed. Yes,
So who do you have, my man?
288. That is,
That's Aljamain and
bro. That's May
Cejudo.
6th, right? That's May 6th.
Yes, yes.
Man,
It's coming
bro, I
up.
want to know your okay. I want okay. I'll give you my. I want to know. I want to know what you think, bro.
What you mean? It's your show.
Bro, but you're
I'm
more
joking.
educated, bro.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'll fuck with you. But no, but I do believe that Cejudo is probably going to win just because of his experience and his fight IQ. Cejudo, I mean, I've literally watched Cejudo. I've watched Cejudo not in the fight, but I've watched Cejudo do so many breakdowns of dudes, like just watching them fight. That it's just like his IQ, his skill, his acumen is just so above Aljamain, in my opinion. I still think it's going to be a good fight, but on the feet, I think Cejudo is definitely going to win, and also on the ground, I think that he has the edge. Aljamain is still very dangerous with his almost like how Oliveira is very dangerous, like he can submit you from anywhere. But Aljamain can basically do the same. We saw him against Corey Sandhagen, who is not a bad grappler. Corey Sandhagen, very, very technical guy, but Aljamain choked him out, choked him unconscious in the first round
First
because
round.
yeah, I mean, because he's dangerous, bro. He let Sandhagen was just being, he was sloppy. He was sloppy. And Sandhagen, talks about how that's one of his biggest regrets was he was just, because it's the fights, bro. It's the fights that you can win and you lose. Those are the ones that haunt you, man. Those are the ones that haunt you because you're just like, I could have done more. I should have done more. I didn't leave it all out there. I was sloppy. I didn't bring my A game. And yeah, man, but Aljamain is very dangerous from that position. But I still think Henry Cejudo takes it. I still think Henry Cejudo takes it. I think that Henry Cejudo is going to. I think that Henry Cejudo has been studying this man and breaking him down for months already, and he's gonna go in there with the confidence, just knowing what his tendencies are, knowing what he likes to do, like like how Tank is gonna go in there against Ryan, knowing he wants to throw his left hook. He's just gonna know. He's just gonna know. Okay, Aljamain, he likes to stay long. He's a very slow striker. He just likes to poke at you, and he's just gonna use that to his advantage. He's just gonna his he is just one of the best combat sports minds there is as far as MMA. He's just one of the best minds, man. And I just see him winning.
I agree, man. I agree. I'm rooting for Aljamain, but I think I do. I think the experience is just gonna really
Yeah.
show. Um,
Yeah, and this is one of those fights, bro, where for some reason I like don't have a specific person that I even want
you
to
just want to see a
win.
good fight. I love
Yeah,
those fights.
yeah.
I love
I
those
don't,
fights.
yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, theoretically, I should be rooting for Aljamain, right? But because he's Jamaican and all. But I don't know, man. I like it's hard for me to put my finger on that. I think it's just Aljamain's personality does not strike me. Like Izzy's personality strikes you, or Volkanovski or someone like that, or Max. Like their personalities really just they have a personality to them as it draws you in, and I just think that that's what it is, bro. Like he doesn't have that, but I still think it's gonna be a good fight. But I still think Cejudo's
Right. Yeah.
gonna
No,
beat him.
Daniel says the only guy that beats Cejudo is Volk.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, yes, I agree. I agree because really Volk. We saw in the Islam fight like Volk can deal with
Right.
wrestlers.
He can
Volk
do
can
it.
deal with wrestlers really well. We saw that, and also on the feet, I believe that Cejudo is just not going to be up to par with, because Aljamain's not as good of a striker,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
He is more of a grappler.
Yeah.
He's more of a grappler,
He's more
and
comfortable on the ground.
yes. And with that being said, Henry Cejudo, who is very comfortable on the ground. He's an Olympic gold medalist. I believe, a two-time Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. Like he's just gonna be, and it's so crazy. Like it's crazy how just having that wrestling base, like how it completely, like you just dictate where the fight goes. Even in jujitsu, like guys will talk about how in jujitsu, like you'll have these guys who are wrestlers, never trained jujitsu before, but black belts will have problem with them just because in grappling, one of the things that is so important is having a good base established, and that is really the main thing in wrestling, is establishing your base. And so, with that being said, uh, you being able to wrestle, you can dictate where the fight is going to go. You can dictate, is it going to stay on the feet? If does he want to take you? Does he want to take you down? Now, obviously, there's still, for MMA, there's still, because you can get submitted and you come in as a wrestler. There's still some things that you need to change. You can't shoot with your head on the outside, because you'll fall right into a guillotine. Um, and also wrestlers, if they do get on their backs, they're not very comfortable, but it's hard to get them there, you know. And yeah, man, I just think that Sakuda's gonna come home with the gold, bro. He's gonna come back off, being retired for 2 3 years. I think he's been retired for 3 years. He's gonna come back up being retired, and jump right back into having UFC gold, man.
Damn.
Yep. Yeah.
That's gonna be impressive, bro. That's gonna be impressive, man. Um,
Yeah.
now if go
Yeah.
ahead. No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No. No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your question. Ask
I'm
your
saying, bro. Well, number one, Daniel says the only guy that beats Volk is Makachev, which I don't, I don't, I don't think you beat him. Makachev beat him, but uh, uh, I think Daniel's just playing around. Uh,
I think I no 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 no. I think really that's, yeah, dang it. And it's so difficult to say, man, because I do think that Volk was right in saying that Yair is probably his most dangerous matchup. Yeah, and so we just saw him. Who did he? Oh, it was oh my goodness, Josh Emmett. He just fought Josh Emmett and submitted him via
right,
triangle.
which was
And so
beautiful,
he's
which was
dangerous,
beautiful.
man. Yes, man. And and I told you my coach from uh out in Michigan, the guy who was like down the street from my house. He trained Yair for a fight. He trained Yair for one of his fights, and Yair used to not even really be a grappler like that.
He'd be on the guard.
And it's
He'd
just,
be standing up more.
yeah, and the thing is, man, really what makes Yair so dangerous is the looks, bro. He has so many looks, man. You know, Max Holloway is very good, and he can
He
break
Max
out
Holloway beat him, right?
certain. Yeah, he beat him, but it's really just because, like, styles
Styles
make
make
fights,
fights, man.
dude.
Styles make fights
Styles
all
make
day.
fights. And Max, just he has that style where he's just gonna keep going and keep going and keep going, like all day. Like, he's gonna pepper you. He's gonna pepper you all, with shots. And like we talked about the fact that Max, he has the highest land rate in the UFC, but he also has absorbed the most shots. And so it's like he engages the most. Out of any fighter, he just engages the most. He just keeps on you, bro. But he also gets hit a lot. But his chin is just so
Right.
ridiculous. Literally, I mean, we're just watching that fight today between him and Arnold Allen, you
Mhm.
know, and we saw him get hit with some
Some
shots, man. And
doozies, bro. Some heavy
dude,
shots.
he's just,
Eating them.
yeah, man, just
Eating them
ate
like
him, walked
sandwiches,
it
man.
right off.
Just eating them like sandwiches, man. Just for
Yeah.
breakfast, you know? Like it was.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
What do you think about him not sparring?
I think it's extremely interesting, and I think the fact that he does not spar, yet he has the highest absorbent rate, is extremely interesting, and I think that evens the playing field a little bit because dudes spar all day. You know what I'm saying? Every day, taking punishment every day when
Yeah.
essentially may not be the best move, but dudes spar every day. They get hit. Now, of course, they're wearing headgear, but If Max doesn't spar at all, right? But he gets hit a lot during fights, but he also hits people the most ever. I think
Mm-hmm.
it evens out, man. Honestly, I think it evens out. I think it's extremely interesting.
Yeah.
The fact that he doesn't spar yet, he's able to hit someone the
Yeah.
most in UFC by like 1,000, not just like a little bit,
Beats second place by
a
a
thousand,
thousand,
bro.
man. Just crazy. He's just gonna have that. He may just have that record literally
Yeah,
forever, bro.
yeah.
He may just have that record forever, but he also may
The
have
absorbent,
the other
right?
record
The
forever
absorbent,
too.
you know.
Yeah, man. But it's really just that he knows his style. Like really his reasoning was like, I know how to fight, and so there's no reason for me to absorb. Ab- excuse me. There's no reason for me to absorb damage in camp. Essentially, and he just saves his brain. You only fight 3 times a year. You only get 3 concussions a year. So, instead of getting concussions and
Right,
training all the time and just banking that you won't get them in the fight, I think he just knows that he goes to
right.
war, bro. Literally every fight that you see, Max Holloway
He's
in,
just
it's a
going
war.
at it.
He goes
He's
to
just
war.
going at it, putting it all on the line. You know what I'm saying? You never see him
Yes.
really. I mean, he's playing chess, but at the same time, he's it's a very aggressively played
Hmm.
chess moves.
Dude, and he's very
Very
technical
technical.
too. That's the thing. He doesn't just run in and whatnot. He sets up his shots, but he just engages so
Yeah.
much that he's just like, he chances it. He chances it, okay, he's gonna get tagged here, and it's just like he
And
just
he's able to eat it.
it's the
He's
trade-off.
able to eat it, and he knows that.
It's the
But what I think is interesting as well is that how does he train if you know?
I mean, just he just drills. He just drills. He hits pads. He trains his gas tank. Obviously, that's one of the things that allows him to recover so quickly. And also, you got to remember the fact Max is young, bro.
How old is he?
Max is 31. He's
Wow.
he's young, dude. He's young. He's already been a champion. So like the how much Max has accomplished at his age is so crazy. It's so crazy. And Max has really only lost, like, hold on one
Lost
second,
to Poirier.
because yeah, he lost to Poirier. I want to be completely right when I say this. Yeah, there he is. There he is. There he is. But I want to be completely right when I say, okay, wait, he has 7 losses. Um, but he lost
Oh, he
to,
lost all fights to
oh, he
Volk.
lost to
Yeah,
McGregor.
yeah, yeah. They did fight.
Yep, yep, yeah. Lost to Poirier, lost to this guy named Bermudez. He lost to Conor
Volk
McGregor.
3 times.
And then all of his other losses have been to
Which
Volkanovski.
were
Oh no, he actually lost to Poirier twice. Poirier and
oh
him
they
fought
did
twice. I
really
forgot. Yes,
interesting.
yes. They forgot about that. One of them he lost by armbar, and the other fight it was just a decision. But it was a decision, and like I said, in MMA, the difference between boxing and MMA is that in boxing, it's based on points, and in MMA, it's based on damage. So even though Max landed more on Dustin in that second fight, he was wearing it by the end
Right,
of the fight, dude.
he was sustaining more.
It's just, at the end of the day, it's just a size thing. But they're fighting. I believe this. All right, this second fight was definitely at
Oh,
155
he
for
went up.
sure.
This is when he went up.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's because Dustin actually used to fight at
Mhm.
45. He used to fight at 45. Him and yeah, both him and Connor used to fight at 45. That's how Connor was a double champ, or
Yeah,
not
yeah,
double
it was.
champ,
Yeah, he
but
was.
sorry, he was double champ, 45,
Mhm.
55. Um, but yeah, dude, it's just what it is. Max is already, in my opinion, Max is going to be a Hall of Famer before he retires. Like he's going to be a fighter who is still active in the Hall of
Right.
Fame. Like Clay Guida, like John Jones. You know, he's just gonna be there, bro. That's my opinion because he's so
Yeah.
young, dude. He's so young. He's already accomplished so much. He's fought for the title how many times? He had the title. So remember that he beat Anthony Pettis. He TKO'd Anthony Pettis, and he defended against Aldo twice,
Wow.
against or
Really?
against Ortega,
Wow.
yeah, against Ortega. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, man, but
No, he's a
that's
beast, man. I think
yeah.
he's an absolute
Or
beast.
excuse me, yeah, against no, yeah, I'm right. Against Aldo twice, against Ortega, um, against Frankie Edgar. Yeah, man, he's just he's just a beast,
Literally.
bro. And then he lost it, and then he lost it to
Right.
Volk.
Which he just wasn't able to
That
get
was
back.
yeah, that was December
Right.
2019 that he lost it to Volk.
Daniel says he wants to know what my thoughts are on the heavyweight tournament. Okay, so basically, Micah, it's confirmed that they are trying to make basically Wilder versus Wilder versus AJ and Fury versus Usyk on the same card in Arabia, Saudi Arabia. They're trying to make that happen. Now, if that does happen, that might be the most pay-per-views we've had in a while. Pay-per-view bot.
So say it again. You said
Tyson
Tyson.
versus Usyk
Hmm.
and sorry, and Wilder versus AJ, and the winners fight each other, essentially.
That's kind of like what the well, not exactly like, but the PFL has like have a season basically. They have like a tournament. But what do I think about that? Yeah, that I agree with you. That would probably sell the most pay-per-views
Yeah,
ever.
I don't know about ever anymore because just the streamings,
Hmm.
but in a very long time, I think that exceeds a million. I think that exceeds a million, bro, because
Yeah. Dude, there has to be a way to calculate that. Like you almost know how, or you know how they how like they don't go by in music, they don't go by album
right,
sales
yeah,
or they
right,
go by
yeah,
streams and stuff like
man,
that.
I agree, man. They need to figure out something where there's a platform. See, but they already have like the zone where you pay for an app and you're able to get it. But see, but the thing about Spotify and Apple Music is, you pay for one platform and you get like majority of music. With the zone is you only get the zone fights, which there's so many promotional companies.
Yeah, see this fight on Saturday with Tank and Ryan's gonna be on the
Right.
zone. And I looked at it, and it's freaking $25 a month, 250 for the
They
whole
got to
year.
figure something out, bro. They gotta figure
That's
something out
ridiculous,
where
bro.
they make a thing where it's all of the
Dog.
all the promotional companies need to make an app. Okay? They need to make one app, one central app, and people pay $10 a month and
Yeah, because
and
that's
you get
ridiculous. How are you gonna
yeah,
buy
and you get all the
all
fights. Because if
see
dudes if dudes if dudes is now there's more money in boxing than there is music though.
Yeah, and look, I like what the UFC
What they
did,
do?
where they have so the UFC has Fight Pass, which is $100 for the whole year. And you can watch, it's the biggest fight library ever. You can watch any
Mhm.
fight. Literally watch any fight. I don't have it anymore. I did have it for a year, but um basically like you can find so many fights on YouTube, and all the like most recent fights you can still fight. You could just find them on ESPN. All the fights that have been on since the UFC moved to ESPN Plus, you could find on ESPN Plus. So I just have ESPN Plus, but I like what they did because they don't have their pay-per-views on the app. They don't have their pay-per-views on the
Oh, they
UFC
don't.
on the
They
UFC
don't.
app. They have them on ESPN
Okay.
Plus, and so you could choose you can actually choose to buy the Fight Pass, or you could just choose to have the ESPN Plus and just watch the
Right.
pay-per-views. You don't have to buy two different
Right.
apps if you don't
Right.
want to. You could just buy one, and you could just
They gotta
yeah.
figure something out for boxing, man, because they're losing a lot of money. They're losing a lot of money. They gotta change the template. Just like you said, music has changed the template. No one's recording album
Mm.
sales anymore. That doesn't mean anything. It's your streams.
Dude, it's really crazy because like, and I've heard Rogan talk about this a lot. Is like how the landscape has changed because of the internet, how the landscape has changed. And it's not really it's a lot of people used to be like, it's famine. Like it's a lot of people used to have like a famine mindset where it's like, I need to come and get you, come and, I need to take you down so I can be on top. But really, there's enough for everybody. So
Yeah,
it's like they need to get out of the greed mindset at the end of the
bro.
day. And
If Wilder Fury
go ahead.
3, I believe, or 3 or 2, one of them. If it illegally streamed 25 million people, 25 million people streamed that fight.
Dog,
25 million.
that is a
That is
disgusting
a
number.
disgusting, terrible number,
I feel bad
bro.
hearing that, man.
So,
Oh
how much
my
money are they
god.
losing out on?
Bro, that's ridiculous. That's crazy to that 25 million people even watch the fight. It's more than
It's
that.
more than that. But I think
Oh
I
my
think they sold
goodness.
like just under a million or something like that, pay-per-views. But yeah, Dino says even fighters stream fights. Yeah, uh, Earl Spence, I've heard that he uses the Fire Stick to stream fights. I've heard that. I've heard that been said before. Um,
Yeah, but I mean, because he's probably just like, it's
yeah,
overpriced.
yeah, and it is because again, I don't mind paying $75 to $100 for a crazy, humongous big fight. I don't mind that. I don't mind paying
Yeah,
$100 for Spencer versus Crawford. I don't mind paying $100 for Wilder versus Fury. I don't mind paying that because
yeah,
they're big, important fights. But Tank
yeah,
versus Ryan, if you put that in the '90s, bro, that's a regular fight. That's a
yeah.
that's a
It's
that's a that,
60 for it's
that bro. You
60.
may that might not even make it to pay-per-view back in the '90s, bro. That might just be a regular free fight. Like, and then I've seen
Mm,
fights that should have been that turned out to be pay-per-view fights, um,
mm.
like Thurman versus
I,
Sean Porter. That's a pay-per-view fight.
oh, so like, yeah, man. So almost, I mean, really, they need to look at the UFC's model, because the UFC, they have their pay-per-views, but they really have
Yeah,
free. Really, almost every
yeah.
other
There's a free
weekend they
fight.
have
There's a free fight.
fights. They only have one pay-per-view a month.
Right. And again, Mike, the thing that the issue, and like I said, I agree, right? But the issue is it's not under
To
one
merge.
umbrella.
Yeah, so I'm saying they
Yeah,
need to
they do need to
merge.
merge, but I don't know if they will ever do that. But that's what they do need to do.
The thing is, if they merge, a lot of boxers get forgotten.
Right. Yep. A
A
lot
lot
of
of
boxes
boxers
get
get
forgotten.
forgotten.
They'll probably feel a lot of neglect. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you getting sold to the parent company, and
Yeah, because
you.
it's
Oh, go ahead.
really like they're all in the same race. Where right now they're not all in the same race. Like, there's so many belts. They can all. I mean, I guess in MMA you have other promotions, you have other organizations, you have the PFL, you have one championship, you have Bellator, but they don't have any like cross promotional fights or anything like that. In boxing, you have tons of cross promotion. It's really,
Yeah. The biggest
it's like,
fights are the cross
yeah,
cross promotional ones. You know what I'm saying? The biggest fights are those.
yes,
Um, so Devin, or sorry, yeah, Michael says I said Michael said Daniel says Loma versus Devin is $50, and I think that's Devin Haney's first pay-per-view, and I think $50 is definitely very reasonable.
really,
Yeah, he has never fought on pay-per-view, I believe. Wait,
that's crazy.
maybe the Cambosis 2 one, maybe Cambosis 1. I'm not sure, but I think this is his first pay-per-view fight. Yeah,
Hmm.
because even Tank didn't start fighting pay-per-view until like a pay-per-view fight that was his. He's headlining it. He didn't start fighting pay-per-view until Leo Santa Cruz. So that was only like 5 fights ago. So think
Mm.
about that for a second. That was about 6 fights ago. He started fighting pay-per-view. Ryan Garcia's never fought pay-per-view. This is his first opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Tiafimo has never fought pay-per-view. You know, Shakur has never
Yeah,
fought pay-per-view. You know, a lot of them have never
dang.
fought pay-per-view, bro.
Well, I guess most UFC fighters have never fought pay-per-view
Yeah,
either, because you actually have to. Because even when they have the pay-per-views, they have to. The prelims are obviously free,
exactly.
so you have to try and get on that. You have to try and get on that main
Exactly.
card.
Even when you do get on it, you have to win to keep staying on it.
for the
You know what I'm saying? Because if you lose, unless you're like a really big draw, if you lose, you're gonna start getting
yeah.
those fight nights. You know,
Yep.
I always see it. A dude loses on the main card at a pay per view. Next week you see him on next 2 months you see him on the fight week. You know what I'm saying? Fight night.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, man. Yes. And see, and also another thing too that I want to say about the price that I really didn't consider is that the UFC UFC's pay-per-view is $80 now. It's $80
Which
per fight for per
that's
pay-per-view.
expensive, but they deliver though. You know what I mean? Like they deliver most of the time. They're delivering. Like there's only been a couple of cards last year that I was generally disappointed with, and that was one Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. I was generally disappointed at that one.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Everyone.
just lackluster. Just I mean, it wasn't.
And that was a
Yeah, that was a pay
pay-per-view
per view.
too,
That
right?
was a pay per view. Um, that's the only one I can. I know there was maybe two others, but that's pretty good. If out of 12, three of them weren't that great, but other nine were like amazing. That's pretty good. That's pretty good numbers, right?
Hmm.
Keith Thurman one time said his pay per view fights is like food and water. It's going up. Peep that. Realize he said that, bro. This is how desperate some of these dudes are. But that's how they make their money, so I can't complain. But again, some of these fights simply are just not pay-per-view fights in boxing, and they're being sold to us. They're being sold to boxers or boxing fans as pay-per-view fights. But either way, I mean, I think that though if that card gets made, I'm gonna make a video about it. But if that card gets made, that is a that's what exactly what heavyweight boxing needs. I suspect Wilder to knock out AJ within 5 rounds. Um, I suspect Fury to probably beat Usyk. Um,
So is it because you think that AJ's not like disciplined?
AJ does not have that mean, that viciousness. He don't have it, and Wilder gonna just thump on him, and it's gonna be a wrap. I mean, he might be able to hang in there for longer than most people thought, but I think if he gets caught with 2 to 3 shots from Wilder, bro, maybe even just one, I think he's gonna go to sleep, man. I think he's gonna go to sleep like a baby with a lullaby. You know, gonna be the people cheering. You know what I'm saying? Because they
Mm,
were supposed to fight years ago. They were supposed to fight years ago. You know, but never came to fruition. Eddie Hearn
yeah.
was trying to protect
So,
AJ. Remember now? You know,
yeah. How do you see Tyson and Usyk going
I
though? You think it's just
I
too
think he's
big?
just too big for Usyk, man. I really do.
Yeah, because Usyk is really a
He's really a
cruiserweight.
cruiserweight, man. He's 6'3". You got dude 6'3" fighting at middleweight or super middleweight.
Dang, dang, yeah. Really, everybody else who would be on that card, or who you're talking about, they would be like six
Six
six,
six,
six
six
seven,
seven,
6'9".
and he's six.
Dang, bro, those are some big
There's some big
boys,
dudes, bro,
bro.
and he's gonna be there at 6'3", trying to, of course he's probably the best boxer there, but at a,
Yeah, I mean, he already
he
beat
beat AJ
AJ
twice and
twice.
convincingly, convincingly.
Yeah,
If AJ had a little bit more dog in him, he could have won the second fight.
yeah, yeah. I
You
do
know,
see, I do see why you're
yeah,
saying, he's just not going to be
he's
able
not
to
gonna be
handle.
able to handle the pressure, the it's gonna eat him up, man. It's gonna eat him up. That once he feels that fire in Wilder's at right hand, bro. Because you can know that it's coming. I mean, it's not gonna do you that much. If you know it's coming, obviously you know it's coming. The right hand, but you
Hmm.
can't dodge the right hand for 12 rounds. You can't do it. No one has
Yeah.
been able to do it. While Fury technically was knocked out, Fury fell, got knocked down 6 times, or I think 5 or 6 times in all their trilogy, in all their fights. You're not gonna be able to dodge it. Not every right hand. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna succumb to at least one, and that's all he needs is one time, bro. Wilder knocked the last dude he fought out walking backwards, bro, and it looked like it wasn't even hard, man.
Oh, what's his name?
Hellenius, man,
Hellenius.
that was scary. That was
Yeah, that
that
was
was
bad,
bad.
bro. That was a
That was a
bad
bad
knockout.
knockout. Bad knockout, man.
Oh my goodness
Ugly one.
gracious.
Ugly one, man. Ugly knockout, man.
So before we finish, what is the ugliest knockout you think you ever seen in boxing?
Okay, this is not the ugliest one I've seen, but from what I can remember, this is one of the worst ones, and that was probably Tank versus uh, Leo Santa Cruz. That's the one. Do you remember that one? You see,
Ooh, that was the
that was the
uppercut.
uppercut one. I remember
Yeah.
watching that fight. I was talking to Daniel while I was watching this. Is 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe. And I remember watching that fight, man, because Leo Santa Cruz was catching Tank. You know,
Yeah, that's when wasn't that when Floyd was
no,
like,
no, not
you're
that
act
fight.
no,
That
that was
was with
with
Barrios.
Barrios?
Yeah, that's with Barrios. That was
Okay.
Barrios. But
Okay.
Santa Cruz was catching Tank. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
pretty flush. It wasn't really hurting him, but once pretty much Tank was like, okay, he goes into high guard, walks him, fakes or no, he throws. I think he throws the right. No, he's southpaw. He throws the jab, or no, does something. But he sets a trap for him. Tank, boom, leans over, sends the left uppercut, and just boom. And I remember seeing that, bro, and it looked like his body left his soul. Left his soul left his
His soul
body.
left
Yeah.
his body. I
It,
got
it literally that's what it looked like, bro. It looked like he hit all the sweat, all the moisture out of his body, and like you could see
you.
like a
Yeah.
template of his body in the moisture, and he just fell into it. That was I don't
That
think that's the
is,
worst one I've seen, but from the top of my head, that's probably the worst one I've seen.
yeah. In MMA, it has to either be it's between Ben
Mhm.
Askren and Francis Ngannou versus Alistair Overeem. That
I haven't
bro,
ever seen that one. Alistair Overeem.
bro, no, you have to watch that right now, bro. Cause that's like a shovel hook. It was like a shove, bro. Alistair Overeem looked like in the moment like the back of his head could have touched his shoulder blades,
Okay, I'm
bro.
watching it right now. I'm
Dog,
watching it right now.
that one was ugly, bro.
I'm watching it right now. Oh god, his feet's gone already. This is after the juicing days, right?
Yeah, that's after.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, that's ugly. That's bad.
And came down with the
Yep.
hammer fist. Look at his
Yep.
toes.
But
His toes
oh
are
my
curled, bro.
goodness. Yep.
Yeah, it's bad. I have to watch it
That's
right now,
crazy.
bro. I love that shit. I love
That's
watching
crazy,
that,
bro.
bro. Francis's power is just
No, it's unmatched, man.
unmatched, bro.
It's unmatched. Literally. Literally, bro. That's scary power, man.
The whole fight, bro. That's oh my god. But Alistair was one of the guys who I was telling you like he stayed in way too
Way
long.
past his,
Stayed in
way past his,
way
yeah.
dog. He was a champion in Strike Force, which is or in Pride, which is like before the UFC. Like the UFC bought
Oh,
Pride
he was?
and absorbed all their
What?
fighters. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So, but that's my thing, dude. Is like he's been in there way too long.
Hmm.
Like, oh my God, that's just crazy. I'm sorry, I'm watching it right now. Oh my goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
Yeah, we definitely we at
It's
the
ugly,
hour we
man.
at the hour mark, but we gonna let y'all go. Yeah, and I mean, definitely appreciate y'all coming in.
Nine.
You know what I'm saying? All the people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys. But we're gonna be heading out, and we're definitely going to be talking about what the
Ooh,
aftermath is after the tank fight. And we're gonna go there. We're gonna cook on it, man. Anyways, like, subscribe for more content, man.